Lightning and wind today are going to tell the story of which way that fire goes. We're expecting extreme behavior again up into the Crowns with the wind push coming from the southeast originally in the morning, gusting anywhere up to 40. Afternoon, there's going to be a shift with the low pressure system coming in, so it's coming down. There's potential for thunderstorms and a wind shift to the southwest. So we're looking at growth on each of the east and the west perimeters of both of those big fires that are going just north of Lake Mayor.
Okay. So what does that mean for the communities that have been evacuated? Sort of watching like Wildfires, Trout Lake?
We are looking at a push. If it's going straight out to the west, we will be in not bad shape at all. Coming out of the southwest, moving to the east could be problematic for Wabasca, so that is our number one focus today. We are working on structure protection, assisting the county and the MD with sprinkler protection. We're running a dozer guard, which means we're going to be scraping the forest away from the perimeter of the current fire edge, giving it a fire break, looking for ignition opportunities where we back burn to where the fire perimeter is right now, so when it hits that area it will have no fuels to burn, and there's a nice road right there as well, which will act as a fire break between the fire and the community.
What's the, given the elements that you're looking at, what's the worst case scenario for you?
Just managing the fire and the winds, and having the ability to have our firefighters in safe locations, building that structure protection and ensuring the safety of the community as best that we can. Given what Mother Nature throws at us, that's the best that we can do, is try and keep everyone safe. That's number one.
And at this point, it's just trying to contain things, right? Because without any rain,
it's all up to the wind and the sun and the relative humidities. Today we're a little bit better shape for humidity. That will definitely predict what the fire is going to do, how extreme those flames are going to be, is weather, temperature, and relative humidity. When we have a temperature that is the same as the humidity, say it's 20 degrees Celsius, 20% relative humidity, that's called crossover. Anytime the humidity drops or hits that point, you have extreme fire behavior. And our conditions are dry right now, so it's burning quite deep into the ground.
And just for your own, like you've had to escape this fire. Like everybody had to escape this fire, so it seems like it's moving pretty quick. Like it's all fluid at this point.
It had a really good run. May 29th, it doubled in size on both, and the 6-9 fire, which is the furthest north, and the 4-9 fire, the distance between them is not that significant, so depending on the winds, those two may eventually join, and that's a possibility.
What does that mean when they join? Does that make anything different for you, or because you're working on the perimeters?
When they join, that gives us 4 flanks to work with rather than the 6 that we have right now. So joining those 2 fires together is some ways easier to manage the perimeters on the east and the west and not worry about what's going on in the center. There are no values at risk in play right there.
Basically update here this morning as of approximately 10 a.m. Some growth in the fire last night, but similar to what we projected. Fire remains approximately 35 kilometers north of town and approximately 23 kilometers from Marten Beach. Marten Beach remains on an evacuation at this point, and will for the foreseeable future. The town still remains on an 8-hour evacuation alert. That is something we don't anticipate changing at this point. Wind is working in our favor again today as it comes from the southeast, but the fire is experiencing some of its own weather patterns, and the fuel sources are high, and we're seeing some back burning that's going on, and basically that fire jumps backwards instead of forwards. It isn't significant at this point, but it definitely causes some concern and an area to keep an eye on, which is why we keep the 8-hour evacuation order in place. Today the big I think the big stress points or trigger points are going to be watching lightning. We do anticipate some moisture in the area today, and not significant enough to get excited, but with it comes lightning, and that we're already seeing some lightning on the north end of the fire. It was start up near noon last night that fire crews are working on. That being said, there's approximately 40 aircraft working on this fire. We have 300 and some personnel plus equipment, resources from other provinces all around, and it remains a high priority. Lots of support from the province, and the Premier and Ministers calling regularly to see if there's any assistance that we need. But at this point, it remains to keep an eye on the weather. Our biggest concern moving forward is any new starts would pull additional resources, and so hopefully the wind continues to work in our favor, and we'll kind of monitor it day by day and see where things go. But don't anticipate lifting any evacuation notices or alerts at this point.
Are you expecting the Army to come to Lake Mayor?
The provincial government has reached out to the military for assistance. There is some resources, primarily aircraft, that have been sent this way. I think it's something that they're being proactive, similar to what we're doing in Slave Lake here, making sure that they have all the resources available, but I wouldn't expect to see a mass presence on that at the moment. I also know that they've reached out internationally for support, and so we'll wait to hear what comes back from some of the other countries.